Sometimes life can knock you off the ground, but surprisingly, an encouraging word can hoist you back to your feet. What we all need is someone in our corner, someone like Dr. Tanji.
Hi, I have 3 questions for you. 1, have you discovered your purpose? 2, have you discovered your ability? And 3, are you planning your life's path?
Dr. Tanji has inspired audiences on radio stations throughout the US and in the Caribbean on KISS FM with the Dr. Tanji Show. Now, sister station Hot 7 TV teams up with KISS FM to bring the Dr. Tanji Show to television.
I will share my wealth of experience, my affinity to life, and assist you in fulfilling your call. By tuning in to the Dr. Tanji Show on Hot 7 TV and KISS FM, you and I will begin to explore the answers to these questions and many more. And in these challenging times, it's just what the doctor ordered. The Dr. Tanji Show comes to Hot 7 TV on the 4th of February. Hey, I got any fat showing? Okay. Mwah! Thank you. Thank you. You sure everything's in, all right? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We made it. Yep, we made it to another day. And this is the day that the Lord has made. I don't know about you, but this morning I'm like, oh God, make me glad in it. Make me glad in it. But all is well. It's your girl, Dr. Tanji, and if you don't know by now, I am so excited to be here. I really am. What I'm learning in this new walk on this journey here is never ever take anything or anyone for granted. It serves no purpose to do that. Okay, is that me? So, sorry, I will not take you for granted, my Facebook family. Thank you so very much for tuning in every day, Monday through Friday, right here on KISS FM 105.9 and with the app, Caribbean Hot 7, app, and Facebook Live. So thank you. And to everyone who has played a role, and you know the role that you played, whether it was my asking, is there a place for a show like this on your radio station, and you're taking the lead in making it happen. Thank you so very much. And I, of course, I don't even want to start this program without acknowledging someone that, when I tell you this man wears so many hats, it's just it's breathtaking to watch him in his element, and he makes it look real easy, right? He makes me sound good. He really does. You guys know him as Marlon. I know him as my gentle giant. Good morning, good morning, good morning, man. It's so good to see you.
Good morning, and as I always say, it's good to be here with you, right?
Thank you, sir. You make me feel like that. I don't know if you're telling me the truth, but the show will make me feel good, dude.
It's the truth. 100%.
All right, then I believe you. What is this show about for those who are new and are wondering, okay, so what is the Dr. Tanji Show? This show is about making certain that you do exactly what you're supposed to do with the time that you have. Now, I don't know what it is you're supposed to do, But I do know someone who has all of the answers, and he knows all of those secret things about you where, you spend time with him and he downloads to you and gives you a plan, and you're like, oh my God, this is bigger than I thought. And no worries, because he gives you the strength and the power to do it. This show is founded on kingdom principles, and a principle is the original intent. And as we study God's laws, all right, it's the original intent for his law, okay? And the kingdom aspect of what we do on the show is we talk about God's invisible government. And it really is an actual country where God is like the king, and it is his domain, and he tells us that the influences that he has, he impacts his domain with values, morality, lifestyle, and his entire principles and laws, and those are given to us. Now, we do not take over his domain. That ain't what we're here for. We're here to make certain that we really are doing exactly what we were created, what we were born to do. We're here to make certain that we're expressive in our love, and we're here to motivate and inspire one another. You cannot do life by yourself. I tried it. It just does not work. So what you'll always get from the show is honesty, openness, and sincerity. It's a system that I put in place some years ago. With God's kingdom, there really is no room for opinions. So my opinion to his law, all right, it does not matter. Neither does yours. So don't forget that. Don't even try it. Okay? Now, on all social media platforms, I can be found at Dr. Tanji Show. Made it real simple, at Dr. Tanji Show. Now, once you know the truth, okay, once you know what you're supposed to be doing, it's up to you to hold yourself accountable. Now, you can have other people to hold you accountable, but at the end of the day, you're the only one. You're the only one who can move from here to there, all right? So you have to make up your mind, which is a part of our kingdom principle for today. It is how to deal with double-mindedness. I swear that's not mine. That's not mine. How to deal with double-mindedness. And if you're like me, oh, dear God, there have been some times when I've been so double-minded that I did not make a decision. Life made the decision for me. And you don't want to live your life reacting to decisions you should have made. Right? We always want to be proactive. So we're going to deal with that today. And I'll give you 3 keys to help you with double-mindedness, if that is what you're experiencing. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Thank you. You always give me the sign to come back, ma'am, and I'm about to get into my lip syncing. Thank you so very much, Gentle Giant. And thank you to my beautiful niece at Asia Major, who, of course, sang the song, and to my amazing son, Tronda Don, who just penned it. Took him 15 minutes, literally. And it is my anthem, Grace and Mercy. All right. 450-5477 is the number that you can call once we are done discussing. Oh, okay. All right, 758-450-5477. If you've got fingers that are like mine and you want to participate on WhatsApp, I'm not even going to show you or tell you what he just showed me. But at any rate, It's going to be a beautiful show. All right, let's get started. What do you do when you've got decisions to make and you're going back and forth and you're wavering and you're just being really inconsistent with the decisions, right? What do you do when it looks like you don't have the support that you're in need of? It looks like nobody's checking in on you. It just looks like, oh my God, I'm in this thing called life by myself. What do you do when you're so busy? And life has a way of just making you real busy, right? And I like to liken that to purposefully busy. When you've got so much to do, but what do you do first? What do you do when it looks like you're about to bet the farm and lose? All because you didn't know what to do. You know, I've made countless decisions in an emotional state, thinking that my crying or somehow my laboring before God or my begging was going to allow him to change his mind and just break the sky and help me make this decision, God, that I've got to make. And I'm wavering back and forth and I just don't know what to do. You know, when you are dealing with double-mindedness, you got to be careful because there's a tendency to think so erratically, that you're thinking those things that could possibly happen, you're thinking that they will. You have to be careful when you're in between two opinions, as I think it was Paul that mentioned something about being, or was it James, being double-minded? My Bible scholars, I'm sure you're going to leave me some comments. Just do that, please, and I'll read them. But what do you do? What do you do when you thought you made the right decision before you went to bed, only to be awakened in the middle of the night going back and forth, back and forth? Everybody else sleep. You're up pacing the floor wondering, did I make the right decision? Am I making the right decision? Well, take heart, because your girl know a thing or two about being double-minded, and know a thing or two about applying keys to unlock a principle on what it is that we have to do. So, when you are betwixt two opinions, when you just really, it just ain't making sense, the first key to consider is once you've prayed, okay, and ask God for his direction for your life, it's something about believing, one, that he is who he says that he is, two, believing that he does hear you when you pray, and then three, believing that you receive the answer right then. See, what I'm learning in this kingdom principled, disciplined life is that it's okay not to know. I'll say that once again. It really is okay not to know what to do. But when we're walking by faith, and I'm not saying it because it sounds good. I mean, literally, God, I don't know what your perfect plan is for my life in this instance, but I trust you. It's something about applying the key of prayer. It's something about when you pray, believing, something about receiving when you pray, and then believing that he really does have your best interest at heart. When you finally decide to do that, you're going to want to exercise patience. And that patience is not you willy-nilly just sitting around, well, I've prayed and that's all I have to do. No. There's action even in the prayer. See, prayer is an action word, and it doesn't mean you just stop. When you're praying and you're believing and you've received by faith, then you keep moving. And I tell my daughter this all the time, even if you have to keep time, you still move. The worst thing you can do when you don't know what to do and you are between two opinions is to become stagnant. There's something about stagnancy that just disrupts everything that you're believing for, everything that you're hoping for, right? So it's written in our Constitution that asking God for help in Matthew 7:7, he says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you'll find, knock and it'll be opened. And that's just not something that we say when we're perplexed. It is really a principle that operates in your life. It really does. It does. Hebrews 4:16 tells us that when we draw near to him, he draws near to us. What better place is there to be than to be in the presence of someone who knows? Think about that thing, man. He knows everything about you. He knows exactly where you are, how you got to where you are, and the direction and where you're going. And all he asks is that you allow him to intervene in your life. The second key that you want to consider when you're between two opinions, you're being double-minded, you're wavering back and forth, is watch what you speak. I know it sounds real simple, right? But you'll be surprised. The confessions of your mouth have power. You've got so much power that it's untapped that should you go speaking on something that you don't want to see happen in your life, because of the authority and the power that you operate in, you'll get more of what you don't want to see. I guarantee you, it's a proven truth. The more you don't want to see something, the more you speak it, the more you'll see it. Power in your tongue. We know that it's written that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and they that speak it will eat the fruit thereof. That's not just a law, man, that sounds good, right? That is the absolute truth. Be careful what you speak. So in the morning times, I know you're all doing this, right? You're all making those confessions over yourselves and over your family before you leave home, and you're setting the atmosphere, right? See, making confessions is not just a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle. I kid you not. The more I speak on what I want to see and move in that direction of what I want to see, the more I get to see it. I really do. I can't explain how he does it. I just know it works. So I'm very careful on what I speak. And then I've got people around me that will tell me when I have spoken out of turn. Even my grandchildren. Nana, you can't speak that, because you'll see it. Now, if a child can remind us on how to speak, then we need to be mindful of that as well. Watch what comes out of your mouth. And the third key that I would like to introduce to you when you are between two opinions, when you just don't know what to do, you're wavering back and forth, you're losing sleep, and you're talking to folk and they're like, oh my God, make up your mind already. Man, you've been talking about that thing for so long. When you go make your mind up? I'm about being double-minded, right? Eliminate negative thoughts that will keep you from being double-minded. What you talking? See, if you think you cannot do it, guess what? You win. You've eliminated all possibilities of doing it if you think you can't. If you say that you can't, all right, then you already know it's an uphill battle from there. I'm sorry, it is. But the more you think on a thing, the more you believe on a thing. If you believe that you can indeed go back to school, right? I was 30, how old was I? I was 29 years old when I went back to school with 3 children, right? 31 when I matriculated into medical school, and everyone's thinking that this woman has lost her mind. But I just believed that I could do it. I really did. I honestly believed. I took the prerequisites that the law stated that I had to take to become a medical doctor. You go to college and you take these prerequisites and you're going in that direction. But you could not have told me, no matter what I was facing, and I faced, oh boy, did I face it. I faced a separation with my first husband. I faced having to go to court and literally move, facing eviction, move out of a place. But I was so determined because what I remember doing was I asked my daddy. I did. I literally did. I remember literally working 40 hours a week, and I'm going across this bridge. And if you know anything about Jackson, Mississippi, I'm going across, I think it was, I can't remember the bridge, but I'm going across this bridge and I'm praying and I'm crying at that moment. What do I do? Part of me believes that I can go to med school and I can I can finish up just getting an undergrad degree and then matriculate into med school. But what I'm looking at doesn't make sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you quit your job that's paying you really well, and at that time, $10 an hour as a sales associate? That was pretty good. I was a top salesperson, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because those childhood dreams, when you're telling your best friend that one day I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a medical doctor, and your best friend is rooting you on like, yeah, because you're so smart. You can do anything. And then life happens and you find yourself making cascading decisions and having fleeting moments of sanity. I'm going to tell you, it's something about this kingdom walk. You don't throw away comprehension, but your ability to walk by sight, it literally goes out the window. It really, really does, especially when you're intentional in what you're doing. When you know that there's something in you, that he placed it in you, and that you're to serve the world with it, you do not quit. You do not stop. You do not throw in the towel. I don't care what it looks like. Looks can be real deceiving, and they can work on the mindset. And if you're not careful, you're thinking one thing, speaking one thing, but not doing anything. And I'm not here to pounce on you. I'm here to lift you up. I'm here to make certain that you get to where you're needing to be. But I got to be open, honest, and sincere with you. Once you've counted the cost, once you've determined that, yes, I've got enough to do what I need to do, and not necessarily knowing all of the details, but trusting in the one who does, then you do make your way prosperous. Then you do commit yourself to it. If you think that you do not have, you won't have it. And I'm not, this is not superstition. It's not name it or claim it. It is just the absolute truth. You have everything you need to be as wildly successful as you want to be. I'm telling you, I know it sounds, it's baffling. It's baffling when you're the one who's responsible for putting food on the table. You're the one who's responsible for making sure that the lights stay on. You're the one who's responsible for making sure the rent stays paid or the mortgage. And you've got this idea that just won't go away. I would challenge you. I would challenge you to ask him, what do you want me to do with this? And then be patient in listening to what he's saying to do. And then speak well over your decision that you've made. Anything in life that is worth you making sacrifices, that is worth you burning the midnight oil, for lack of a better word. It's worth it. And you will make it, but you cannot quit. Double-mindedness is real, man. It really is. But remember, if you will, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5. And for my scholars, you already know it. Casting down every imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. What you saying? Anytime you think you can, you can. Anytime you think you can't, you won't. It just works like that. All right, 450-5477. If you're using your fingers, you want to make your contribution to the show, I'd love to hear from you. 470-534-2216. After the show, I really am grateful, and I've got to get your name. I know you as Natural Beauty on, on Instagram, but every morning, I need you to know that I receive every prayer that you've sent me. And she's sending them from the Bahamas. How cool is that, right? And thank you to my friends in Brazil and Portugal and parts of Africa. I am eternally grateful. 450-5477.
All righty, 23 minutes after 11 o'clock. Just a reminder of the time, just in case. Good morning, Kingdom family. Wonderful topic this morning, because this is right where I am at, wavering between two decisions. So thank you for this. James 1 verse 8 says that a double-minded man is unable, unstable in all of his ways. All right, that's what
That's all right.
Unstable in all of his ways.
Absolutely. When you said unable, I'm thinking, okay, now maybe that's going to be like the Message Bible there. Thank you so very much for your contribution. Please know you're in my bullion bowl, and your being there, I've just got to be sincere with you here. This was a difficult principle for me. Seriously, it was one of the hardest for me, because I was so used to, my planning techniques, and I set my mind to something and I'll do it. The moment I start looking at my circumstances and situations is the moment that I start wondering, did I make the right decision? Am I doing this? And I'm back and forth and back and forth. So you know what to do, dear heart. All right? You got this. Congratulations.
Good morning, Dr. Tanji and Marlon. The power of what we speak and the authority we possess is one thing I think that has been kept away by the enemy. So I do appreciate you reminding us today. Wow. Isaac Randolph.
Oh, thank you so much, Isaac Randolph. Thank you so very much. I too am reminded you got more power than you think. You got more power than you think, especially when it looks like I'm about to drown. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
Dr. Tanji, thank you. To think I would wake up daily and be inspired by a non-religious station was beyond my thinking. Thank you, Dr. Tanji, Marlon, and Kiss FM, Andrea Ferdinand.
Wow, that gummit. I swear to you, I was getting through the show, man, without sweating or crying. I really was. But can I just say to you that one of the most difficult things it is to do this show is to be right. It is not a religious show. And I fight really hard to make certain that it is not, because I am not pouncing anyone's religion, okay? But I need you to know that for me, it was my believing more in the traditions of man than believing more in what the power of God is. So for it not to be a religious show, honey, welcome. Seriously, welcome. And thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's just say hi to Romala. Romala, she's just letting us know that she's locked in today.
Thank
All right,
you.
I think Romala, you missed it yesterday, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think so. she's there today.
Thank you so much, Ramala. You already know you're my bowl, baby. Yeah, we got 2 bowls this week. One from last week and then one from this week. So you've got a lot of chances to make certain that you can take home, some a love offering. Let you know that we really do care about you, and if there's anything that we can do to make your life just a little lighter, then sign me up for it.
All right. Sherwin Wilson is with us this morning as well. She says, hey, good morning, Dr. Tanji and Marlon. Right on point. We have been asked to come and reason with him, and he will show us great and mighty things.
He sounds like a woman who knows what she's talking about. Thank you, Miss Sherwin.
Magdalena is with us this morning as well. And she says, good morning, Dr. Tanji and Marlon. A wonderful Wednesday to you. The word says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I think we read that earlier today. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Being double-minded is trouble. You're not sure what you believe, what you should do, etc. Double-mindedness is a sickness like any other disease. It makes you unstable, inconsistent. You become unsettled and lack solid convictions. It can also make you double-tongued. It keeps you backward because you may not be able to sort out for. It may not be out for service because it can have the tendency to become unfaithful and cannot be trusted. It calls for a renewed mindset to get out of this with prayer, surrounding with positive people who can give that support to help with the change. Not easy though. It has to be a choice and realization that you need help. Have a good day, guys.
Oh, Maggie, I love you, man. She always hits it right on the head. She really does. And again, someone who lives what she reads and studies. So thank you so very much. Well received, lady.
Yes, so that's it for our messages this morning.
Wow, and it's right on time.
Yeah.
So remember, if you think it's impossible and he says it's possible, whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to believe your report that it looks impossible? Or are you going to believe his report that says all things are possible through him? Right? It's been a blast being here with you today. I'm telling you, man, the young lady got me all messed up here and my eyes are burning from a mascara, but it's all right, man. Thank you so very much for allowing me to come into your ear gate every Monday through Friday. Wow, who knew? Who knew the little girl from Mississippi that had these wild dreams about growing up and traveling the world and inspiring and motivating? Who knew that I would have to go through so much to get here? But you know what? It was so worth it. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. God say the same and the creek don't rise. We're going to do this thing again. Please don't forget 450-5477, all right, so that we can have your I'm about to say testimonies, but your contribution. And you get put in the bouillon bowl. Don't forget to smile because it makes you look good, makes you feel good. And what you live from this place right here, that's your mind, your will, and your emotion, your soulish man. I love you. Bye.
Sometimes life can knock you off the ground, but surprisingly, an encouraging word can hoist you back to your feet. What we all need is someone in our corner, someone like Dr. Tanji.
Hi, I have 3 questions for you. 1, have you discovered your purpose? 2, have you discovered your ability? And 3, are you planning your life's path?
Dr. Tanji has inspired audiences on radio stations throughout the U.S. and in the Caribbean on KISS FM with the Dr. Tanji Show. Now, sister station Hot 7 TV teams up with KISS FM to bring the Dr. Tanji Show to television.
I will share my wealth of experience, my affinity to life, and assist you in fulfilling your call. By tuning in to the Dr. Tanji Show on Hot 7 TV and KISS FM, you and I will begin to explore the answers to these questions and many more. And in these challenging times, it's just what the doctor ordered. The Dr. Tanji Show comes to Hot 7 TV on the 4th of February.